Good. Oh, that's loud. Or it's loud in my ear anyway. Good evening. Welcome to Barely Competent Gaming. I am Jim. How is everybody today? And first things first, I'd like to say a big thank you to Dasmog for the Twitch Prime subscription. Oh, and let me turn my TV sound off so you ain't hearing me twice in the background. I'm back in Warhammer. It's been a while. It was about a month ago. I never actually really looked at it the last time I played. We were playing as a lizardman, and a lot's changed. Well, we were waiting for this update. I've been waiting for this update for ages. So they've added Norska back in, and they've done the Queen and Chrome DLCs just dropped. We're not playing any of that. Also, Aleph NR as well, actually. It's been added as a free DLC. So if you haven't got all these things, go and get them all. And I kind of forgotten that it doesn't keep playing the sound when I've clicked off screen. Incredibly annoying. Right. We are, as you might have seen from the intro screen, we're playing Immortal Empires campaign. Not with Tyrion, but with good old Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer King. So this has been a campaign I've been planning for a while anyway. It was always on my wish list of campaigns to actually get around to doing. I was going to use a mod to move Ungrim to Karak Kadrin and then play from there. And that was basically the end of it. And I kind of knew they were vague. They mentioned before about maybe moving people about, but I wasn't necessarily going to wait for that. I kind of wanted to wait for the Norse update because the idea is to basically go north and be on the front line when chaos attacks. So by having Norse, you know, just as an extra enemy to fight against is the main thing I wanted. But it got more than even that I bargained for. So we actually, like, the update has moved Ungrim to Karak Kadrin, which is where he always should have been. We've added in Giant Slayers. I didn't actually realise you actually start with some Giant Slayers. Can't remember what it was before. Got Thunderers as well. I kind of wanted to say the first race I played as in Total War Warhammer 1 was the Dwarves. And we don't seem to get much in the way of desktop audio. Do let me know if I mean, yes, the music's relatively quiet. That might be better. Yeah, do let me know if there's any issues with the audio, balance-wise and whatnot. I forgot what I was saying exactly. Oh, yeah, so when I played Warhammer 1, I played Dwarves first. I played as Fulgrim Grudgebearer. And as they standard, this was back before there was any DLC. So there wasn't, Belegar was on there, Grombrindal was on there. We didn't have, I forget, they've added a few new units. I forget which ones they were. It was Bugman's Rangers. I think Rangers in general as well, actually. A few different bits and pieces I never actually played. Plus, I made so many mistakes. I didn't even realise that the skill tree scrolled across when I first played. So I've been always wanting to go back to them and playing again because I put, God knows, a couple of 100 hours into Total Warhammer 1 since then. Then I'm up to about 400 hours in Total War Warhammer 2. Something crazy like that, even though I've only really played 3 games in it. It's kind of bonkers. I'm a little paranoid about how this is going to run because we've been playing a lot of Stellaris lately and Stellaris definitely runs better. I'm using a different OBS now. I'm using like a Streamlabs OBS, which is supposed to be better on the whole performance on the CPU. So let's get to it. The other thing, of course, a big thing they've added in, which I'm looking forward to, is they've added in Dwarf Forging, which it's such a cool. It was like I really enjoyed the mechanic playing as Tomb Kings, but I always loved it with dwarves on the tabletop. They could always make their own magic items by combining runes. You could make customized weapons and stuff. You could add 3 runes to make your own magic weapon. Now it's not quite like that how it works here, but the fact that it's in here at all is really cool. So I'm kind of glad I never did this campaign sooner. Otherwise, I would have been like, I would have missed out on all these cool updates. You also get a suitable climate frozen, which is, I'm interested to see if that replaces something. So our aim is to go up north, but we're going to confederate with the other guys. So if Fulgrim goes north, no, Fulgrim goes south, Ungrim goes north, and I think Grombrindle. I always wanted to do a army full of heroes, and I think I'm going to get, when we get Grombrindle, I'm going to get a group of heroes with him and head him north as well. The idea being that it's going to be a typical kind of Lord of the Rings type fellowship sort of thing. Going north, and I think dwarf heroes are tanky enough. It's something I've talked about in the last couple of series. I never really did it in Warhammer, in our Lisman campaign. But they're all on monsters then, so I kind of liked having a few in each. But that's going to be my aim. And we've been, and in our previous campaigns, we've been naming our characters after followers. But now that I'm an affiliate and we've got a few subscribers, we're going to be, well, we'll name in prioritizing subscribers and donators. So any kind of donation amounts, but at the moment we've already got like a list of 9 or 10. So I mean, I don't know how many lords are like that. I'm not going to rename the legendary lords, and yeah, I'm not sure what the limit on heroes was in a Lisbon campaign. We can only have a maximum of 30 heroes anyway, so I was thinking about maybe in between streams naming units after followers, to say to Jacobsy Slayers, who is our last follower, for example. Maybe I do that, but I'll probably just do that in between episodes. Yes, I'm interested with the frozen climate, so that's meant to be like for going north. But I think it also means that the Chaos Wastelands aren't as bad to us either, which is where the Norse live. But I don't know if that means the Badlands are worse for us, so I'm interested to see. So yeah, upkeep for Slayers, minus 25%, and recruitment cost for Slayers is minus 25, which were all about the Slayers. Although, I can't remember what it was before now. I thought that was only under his army. But no, but that's good, because I don't know if we'll have, well, I guess we'll have multiple armies with Slayers, and I don't know, we'll see. But obviously, Ungrim's army himself is going to be very heavily Slayer focused. Melee attack plus 6 for Slayer units in his army, so yeah, we're going to definitely take advantage of that. And speed plus 10%. And when I played Dwarves before, I was very much going very heavy on their artillery. So I sit at the back, shoot them with cannon stuff, force them to come to me in defensive. So with the whole speed and stuff, I want my armies to be much more... We might have some armies that are a bit like that, but I want my armies a bit more aggressive and running towards the enemy. So we're going to have grudges, the underway pass. I imagine most people know about the slight ins and outs. Strangely, we have Thunderers, because I always kind of feel like my instinct with this army, because there was always a thing about gunpowder weapons being a relatively new technology for the dwarves, and some of the old grumblers kind of view with suspicion a bit more. So we're doing maybe an army with no gunpowder units, but we'll see. So a difficulty will be very hard. Man, battle difficulty. Maybe I'll keep the battle difficulty on very hard. I keep wanting to push on very hard. We struggled with the Lizard Men. We actually failed our first couple of attempts, and I ended up switching it down to hard. So we'll see, because you can change it mid-game, so if it's not an issue. But I kind of do want to progress up to the hard, perhaps, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's start the campaign. I don't imagine there's any cutscenes. God, I don't... Be interested if the load times are a lot better now I'm using this other OBS. I'm a little paranoid about the technical things, because yeah, like I say, I haven't played this in a month. I have disabled all mods as well, actually. I had trouble. I thought I could get away with just a few of the basic ones, but I kept having crashes, even just on the thingy select screen. At last, Ungrim Iron Fist returned to the Slayer Keep, and with him comes runesmiths willing to share the rules of runes. Let the forge fire for a new era in Dwarven Artifice begin. Not a moment too soon, for the Age of Reckoning is under threat. Urky and grobby scum of the Red-Eyed tribe threaten the sanctity of Karak Kadrin and the surrounding dwarf holds. The ancestor god Grimnir will surely demand their deaths, and the Slayer King has never shied from killing greenskins. That's new. I was going to read that out, but I just realised, because it used to be this whole thing about like, oh, Karak Kadrin, Ungrim just so happened to be in Karak Karaz at Karak, the capital where he used to start. Oh, we just happened to be there when things went a turn, and that's how it was this stupid little thing that just kind of like was why they justified he didn't have his unique star position. He was away from home when all of a sudden orcs came after him, and he had to go and recapture. He had to go reconquer Karak Kadrin, even though it's his faction. Anyway, this has been a long time coming. The moving. Like I say, I was going to do it with a mod before anyway. Man, I'm not... Part of me is also why we haven't played Mortal Empires on stream either. I worry about the turn times and stuff. I mean, I guess it's kind of inevitable. Even on good computers, the end turn thing's going to take a while. Lots of factions and stuff. I've always tended to find actually this initial loading screen is a lot longer than like the battle ones and stuff anyway. We normally when I start future streams I start already loaded in just for that reason. Oh, I tell you what, I have forgotten. Is it going to crash? I have a program, Borderless Gaming, because Warhammer doesn't work very well as when you're using two screens. It's not set up for it properly. Not like every other game that we've kind of haven't had a problem with. Okay, it's fine. I've forgotten to... I haven't really needed to do it, Stellaris. Oop.
Slayer and King, prevail in your ancestors' woes, and carve a path of red ruin in the lost name of Drakebeard. Many monsters and Urks dare skulk in the shadow of Peak Pass. The Templehof vampires are such a threat. A grudge on all Zangunars. Do not let the undead fester in their nests. Further north, the Umgi of the Empire squabble with one another. All the while, Kislev prepares for the war of all wars. Should
got that frame rate
from the frozen wastes. But an immediate threat resides within these craggy mountains. The Red-Eye tribe, a vicious horde of greenskins, sack and pillage the halls of your mighty kin. And they now dare turn their beady eyes on you, my king. Push back this green tide, my lord, for you are the last Slayer King of Karak Kadrin.
Awesome. How they play? Ooh, the Forge. Experts in binding the winds of magic to stone or metal, dwarves can now use Oath Gold. Oh, I can use Oath Gold. I added the now in. So yeah, I guess this works a fair bit like the Canopic Jars. There's lots of different ways of getting the characters. I think there might be some buildings that help generate a bit each time, but then also you get quests and stuff. Grudges. We have a book of grudges. We need to make sure it doesn't get too high. It's not the end of the world, mind you, but it's what we shall do in any case. Get off my chuffing land. Ah, it's a grudge. Okay. Capture and occupy the following settlements. So, obviously, chapter settlements. I'll have a look at the chapter missions in a minute. First one's always a bit of... Let's just have a bit of a poke and a look around. So, this is the other big change, actually. So, it always had this building... This Karak Kadrin, I say always... already has a Slayer shrine, but it's now a level 2 building. So you can unlock Slayers really bloody early. Well, from the off, which is kind of amazing. Now I seem to remember growth is a lot slower for these guys, for dwarves. I did have a quick go of this like a month ago. I think not long after the last campaign. I was just playing on my own. I just played 10 turns and I was like, no, save it for a stream. I was really enjoying it, but obviously didn't have all the updates and things. So our main focus is going to be kind of going north and whatnot. We'll probably try and make peace with the Empire and stuff, because we'll be. They've always been good allies, and we'll. The main thing is like we just wanted to prepare for the coming chaos, which is some time away. But I'm going to want to get Nashrak's lair, because it's part of our mission anyway. Plus I'm going to want to get, I forget what it's called, down here as soon as possible. It's got a huge gold mine, which is, I know they've got a whole bunch of different landmarks in as well. So we start with a runesmith. We didn't before. So we should get this named after somebody, shouldn't we? Straight from the off. So I'm going to save Maxen as Maxen and Merrick are going to save as lords. Our first couple of lords being donators, big donators and stuff. Let's in fact, seeing as he subscribed today, this now does mock. And he's a rune slayer, right? Rune smith. Rune slayer. Not the word I was meant to use. So we're probably going to go straight in and fight this, I guess. They're probably going to... Oh, we already start with the death... Oh, yeah. So I think they've changed... Might have changed some of the skills a bit, but they'd already changed... What, Oath Forging? Generate 3 per turn. They already added a few in anyway. My main aim with this guy is going to be to make him a absolute badass as far as fighting goes. Thinking about it, when I played them, they did they have runesmiths? They had runesmiths, but they didn't have the rune lords. So I'm not really, I really underused runesmiths, and heroes in general actually last time. So scouting, cleanse corruption, new damage walls. Okay, that's what I was really looking for. Alright, I'm going to get you to go in the army.
It shall be done. I grow restless.
And we'll just go straight in for the fights. Yeah, let me, before we do that, I was hoping they might add in rights. I mean, they have tech. Now my temptation is to really focus on the economy. How much are we earning from here? 1,108, but that's going to go down real quick as soon as we start building units. Public order is quite a bit of a problem as well. Just in general, so I'm going to get that first. We will, let's have a look at the diplomacy situation as well. Zufbar. Yes. So we should have a much easier time confederating with people. I don't know to what extent they may have changed it.
I suppose.
We possibly could have got some money out of them, but I just want to make more friends. Because dwarves tend to get along for the most part. They might have squabbles and stuff, but yeah, we're not going to try and trade with Tempelhof. We'll probably try and go after the vampires sooner rather than later, because they start off pretty small, but if we can get rid of them early, we can okay, we don't like jungles. We can, that would help the Empire. I mean, we kind of want the Empire to be strong. I'm not looking to conquer all of them. I'm trying to be relatively thematic with the Empire. So this is right. So we normally start in mountains. I'm not sure what these are normally. I'm sure frozen are normally unpleasant. It's more the chaotic wasteland being unpleasant, which is the bigger deal as far as I'm concerned, because all of Norska. Because when I first saw that they were frozen, it's like this little area is considered frozen. The rest of this is all Norska, and above them there's some mountains. And then, I guess it kind of leads us into... Actually, it's a much shorter of a hop from Norska into here than I realised. I guess I haven't really... I've played this on my own time when I first got the game. I played as vampires. We weren't really looking northward so much though.
I am the Slayer King.
I guess this is mostly going to be normal orcs. Hopefully they won't run away. Or if they do run away, we should be able to grab them. Alright, well, first... it's our first catch of the day. We will be fighting this. I normally always fight the first battle. Plus I'm not sure, actually. I'm very distrustful of the auto-resolve. Oh, there's a choke point as well. So, our Slayers are really good. Really fast as well. I was kind of surprised. I didn't really, when I looked at it before, I didn't have much context, but that's like how fast a skink is, 44. I guess I say with the extra 10% that Ungrim gives to the faction. But yeah, 44 is as fast as like skinks. And skinks are really fast for being on foot. Yeah, we have to make sure these guys don't get shot at, because yeah, no armour. But they are fast. So I guess at the moment it could be more of a flanking type thing. But then I want his army to be majoritively Slayers. Just because that's how it should be. What's your speed? 31. What's his speed? 32. Yeah, he's relatively slow actually, isn't he? Let's get you two in the middle here. We'll put those guys on the side. I mean, there's a lot of anti-armour in the shoes with the thunderers, but they need more of a direct line, whereas the crossbows can go up. I'm tempted to throw these guys around the sides of this one while the rest of the force go that way. Oh, he's got a ability, Red Ruin. I think that's new. That's really good. 6% weapon damage and armor piercing. I mean, less melee defense, but... And one of the great things about this campaign is going to be that it doesn't matter if we lose lots of Slayers, because, you know, that's what they're there for. They're trying to die. I'm kind of hoping the Archers are largely going to be focused on the, like the other flank, or on this flank, with all the guys who have armour. But we're mostly going to move up and just charge straight in. That's how I want to play these guys in general. I mean, they're supposed to be foolhardy. They want a glorious death, right? And with that in mind, yep, dwarf honor is at stake. Go straight for the Lord. We'll get these two to basically shoot at their artillery. And you're still probably going to be good against normal dwarves. Normal orcs. So I mean, yeah, they are bringing the archers round, but I feel like these guys will probably make fairly short work of these big guns. Well, I don't know, they are big guns, but they haven't said it. We've got some of the elite giant slayers. Hopefully these guys are hitting as many of their own people. My lord is under attack, indeed. So he bloody well should be. What if these guys can get a shot on... Oops. These... Yeah, actually those archers are making pretty sure work of my slayers. A lot more than I kind of expected, which is a good... One of the things I like about these early battles is a good kind of test. Yeah, now that we're chasing them, it'll be fine. Oh wow, you're almost dead. Maybe I was being a bit too foolhardy with that. Wow. Okay. Oh, keep pressing spacebar to pause. It's the wrong game. Oh wow, this is a bit of a cock up. Big time, in fact. That was a little too cocky in as far as like, oh, we should easily beat him. No problem. I probably would have been alright if I didn't, use that power, I guess. Look at my guy running away. Alright, well, Okay, and you guys probably shouldn't be all the way back there.
Yes! For the ancestor gods! Move now! Slayers! Understood, Lord!
My warriors flee. Oh dear. I think this is what happened before when I tried playing the battles on very hard. It's like I completely like underestimated the enemy. They get so many extra bonuses. You know, I think this might be a good test. I think I will just lower it down to just hard. I mean, that's what I'm used to. That's the level I'm at, I guess. It's... Ah, my lord's been wounded. Amazing. What a wonderful start to the campaign.
axe! Shah! Down!
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of those times like, oh, I'm glad I don't have huge amounts of many viewers in at the moment.
Slayers!
In fact, it might even be worth just starting again.
Quarrelers!
And maybe not being quite so gung-ho.
Valea bless our aim! Slayers! Thunderers!
Well, we killed their enemy lord. Well, let's see how the
Let's start shooting!
end battle shakes up. Stop firing, will you?
Strike out!
You're probably just going to kill more of my guys. How fast are you? 31. I'll let you chase after them for a bit. I think most of these will be like wiped out if I let you chase after them. Man, there's only there's only 2 of them. They're definitely not going to come back. Should be right. Pyrrhic victory. Yep, indeed. Well, you know, quest over, I guess. If Angrim was looking for honourable death, I don't know how honourable that was, but yeah. If we're lucky, which I'm probably not. Angrim might not be like wounded for a few turns. 120 kills with those guys. Wow, that's kind of bonkers. I mean, they were kind of chasing after people at the end, but I don't mind replenishing up from this. I definitely changed the difficulty. So I think sometimes if you win the battle but your lord goes down, he comes back with a sliver of health. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look at a replay. Nah, yeah. Yeah, I never understood. I mean, I don't think I ever released captives when I did my dwarf playthrough before, and it's like, why am I going to release orcs? Orcs are for executing, right?
Shoulder axes, lads. We move.
Oh lord, how long are you going to be back? 5 turns. Man, I can't go 5 turns without Ungrim.
Armed and ready.
I'm gonna restart. Maybe I'll cut this out, the YouTube part as well. I just pretend. Just pretend. Oh, I guess I don't have the autosave. One of the reasons why I should. So I didn't even have that Iron Man mode thing on. It just saves before and after every battle. Let me load that, actually. Was that a quick save? No. No. I don't know. I think that was... I did that before the battle, didn't I? Just in case of... I mean, not really going to really be doing much different. in the opening things. We're just going to have the difficulty on slightly lower for the battles. I mean, all our previous battle games so far have been very hard campaign and hard. And I think that's a level I'm kind of happy with. Because there's always a balance, I find. If you haven't watched me before, I talk about this a fair amount. But there's a balance between, for me,
We must preserve this world.
between being challenging, but also being fun. I don't like it to be like pulling teeth. I think one of the things I found on very hard is that the enemy just takes a lot more to make them run. I don't know. I mean, but then it's like, oh, when I was playing with Lizardmen, it's like, well, using your monsters to cause terror and stuff was quite a big advantage. And having the battles on very hard kind of nullified that. Oh, I never turned on borderless gaming. Because one of the issues can be often during loading screens. If I click off screen, then it can cause some crashes.
Mighty Ungrim, Slayer and King, prevail in your ancestors' woes and carve a path of red ruin in the lost name of Drakebeard. Many monsters and Urks dare skulk in the shadow of Peak Pass. The Templehof vampires are such a threat. A grudge on all Zanganaz. Do not let the undead fester in their nests. Further north, the Umgi of the Empire squabble with one another. All the while, Kislev prepares for the war of all wars, should evil seep from the frozen wastes. But an immediate threat resides within these craggy mountains. The Red-Eye tribe, a vicious horde of greenskins, sack and pillage the halls of your mighty kin. And they now dare turn their beady eyes on you, my king. Push back this green tide, my lord, for you are the last Slayer King of Karak Kadrin.
Fine, take two. I was thinking about it, I was like, do I let the intro play again? Do I?
Will binds me to you.
Alright, we got some grudges.
The runes are ready.
Let's just go straight into this battle.
Aye, it is time. Bag them.
And we will give it another shot. I probably will just include it on the YouTube thing. I break them up to 1 hour, so this is probably still the first episode. It gets a bit faffy. I know with my Lizardman campaign, it was like, this is like attempt 1 part 1, then attempt 2 part 1 part 2, before then going into attempt 3, which was like, sometimes I find with these games with Total War, it's just like, you just gotta kind of get the good start. Although that was just a cock up on my behalf. It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't mind if later down the road Ungrim gets wounded for my stupidity. I'll live with it. But like on the first turn, I don't like to save scum. I don't think technically save scum in Starn again. I suppose it basically is if that's pretty much the first thing you do. Meh. Right, with that in mind, let's I'm gonna have these guys. I won't split up my dwarves this time. I'll have the ones with shields and stuff first. If I could get you grouped in, put you into group 1 for the moment. Just so you don't go faster. We'll get these guys at the back, yeah, we'll have the guns on the left. Because then you can kind of shoot over the ravine. These guys have shields, they do, don't they? I was just looking at the icons, but it's like, yeah, they do. Whirling axes. Does that mean they can kind of like... Slayers armed with 2 axes definitely whirl them high speed to deflect incoming missile fire. Why is my leadership lower? Or difficulty modifier, -2. Well, that's weird. I mean, I guess leadership is separate to simply being unbreakable. They are unbreakable, right? Yeah. See, unbreakable too, yeah. You have to be wary about this. Melee defense minus... I mean, that's a basic gets rid of all of his melee defense. What's going on? Oh, was that just when I'm... Oh, there was something in the patch notes about there being a little noise if you're having a spell activation or something. I'm gonna get these guys to shoot at these ones. Let's keep an eye on him this time. Yeah, that walk's going down quite a bit. See, I wonder if using it now is a good idea. Because he's like, his leadership's almost gone, he's got low health, surrounded by people, so he's less likely to get hit personally. I mean, I put it on hard, haven't I, as opposed to very hard, so I mean, I guess that's going to be the real big difference, right? You guys should really be on guard, shouldn't you? Right, you go after them. Your speed 31. What's your speed? Your speed's 31 as well. Alright, I mean, like, my slayers are going to be good at running after people. Ooh, you've taken a lot of damage, but that's fine as long as you survived. Their lord survived this time. I guess it's Pop Man, yeah. Am I really cheap for redoing it? Pussing out and or wussing out and putting the difficulty down. Let me know in the comments down below. This is going to be close enough. We're obviously having trouble catching them. Why are you having trouble catching them? Speed. At speed 44, would have expected you to have caught them by now. Not as many kills, I guess, here, but then the battle was over a lot quicker. So Windows was telling me then that the game was not responding. I don't think it was showing up on stream. We just wait. Waiting is fine. Wow, a whole 86 loot. Phew. And Ungrim's gone up a level. And yeah, we execute them. I mean, I just feel like with the dwarves, it's like, yeah, there's no way they're ransoming orcs or vampires. I mean, I think the general rule I had for myself before, and I think it applies, just from a like an RP type thing. It's like if you fight against humans or elves, then you can ransom characters, and in fact, you're much more, I say, much more likely to. Oh, I would. We should go for one of these first. This is their cool line. We only get to have one of those. So basically the choice is, when we're lower than 50 hit points, we get 20% extra armor, piercing, and 20% damage. Yeah, at the moment it's 15 and 15, and that takes up to 50, right. Or 30% physical resistance, armor, piercing damage, and weapon arrow. I'm going to go with this one. Extremely daring death blow. I don't know, it's like, you don't really want your characters to get below 20% hit points. Although we kind of did in the previous battle. But I just think it's... won't apply as often, but be really good when it does. I guess we don't start with any weapons, do we? Where's my borders? Oh, I guess we can't... Well, we've only got... what should we build? I guess we should build some Slayers, eh? God, 160 each. That's even with the discount, right? 169 each. What's the discount? It's like 20... Is it just 25%? Upkeep is minus 25 and recruitment cost minus 25. I guess we can't go in any other stance. I think we just got the basic stances, I suppose, because Dwarves being one of the first races didn't really have so many of the unique ones. Well, let's get me 3 Slayers, I guess. We haven't got many other choices. I still think, let's go with the public order. I think I kind of want to focus on the economy more than anything else, especially if we're going to go... yeah, at least for now anyway. Which characters? Oh, I guess it would be the engineers. Engineers are still tech. As far as the building goes... I feel like I'm going to want growth. I mean money, right? Extra 200. I want growth. The quicker you can build up, and considering we're only getting +8, +15's like, you're basically tripling it. Plus you get the extra replenishment rate, which will be good in the short term. We'll probably end up, well, we will end up replacing it at some point. But being able to get your primary settlements up to level 5 quicker. Ooh, excuse me. It's just really good. Let's have a look at diplomacy again.
Yes.
Ooh, is your attitude lower?
Greetings, Kinnaman of the Hold. What can I do for you?
Oh, that's strange. They liked me more last time. Seems a bit weird. I mean they're going up, right?
What?
Ostermark. Yeah, let's make sure.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire.
I mean, you're humans, right? We don't particularly want to. I mean, unless you're going to be a douche bag about it. We only really want to deal with the. Yeah, so I think I kind of want to get these little areas. There's not that many settlements. I guess that's where the Chaos Wastes are, is it? So we're going to want these little areas first, but then I want to kind of turn on these guys. On the vampires. Let's have a quick look at the forge. Actually, I'm tempted. Obviously, we need lots of resources and stuff. I mean, that's fine. Resources are good. Elfbane. Huh. That's going to be good if we're going after the Dark Elves later. Oh, I never really looked at our quest objectives. So, as far as what the long-term objectives for this campaign are, oh, that's cool. Oh, that includes the... we got to destroy the Wood Elves. Well, that's weird. Kind of surprised at that. I mean, I know the Dwarves and the Elves don't necessarily get on. But yeah, Norska, Wintertooth and Clan Moulder. It doesn't care about really any of the orcs. Oh, Crooked Moon. That's really weird because they're all the way, they're quite a range away. I guess that's why they're not on the short ones. Main control of 10 provinces, including the following, by direct ownership. So I want to get all the dwarven territories together. Oh god. Maintain a unit of 7 units of the following type. I mean, that's not going to be difficult. Main 100 units. Okay, that's not... we don't even have to defeat Chaos. Like Archon. Normally there's a thing that says make sure Archon is in a wounded state. That's weird. But we've got to make sure... I want to make sure that Archon is dead. That's my personal objective. It's strange. A lot of these seem pretty tame compared to the other ones I looked at before. I mean, it's like some of the other factions are like, oh, let's, you know, have control either through a military alliance or, yeah, Valley Seas Missile Alliance with like all the major capitals of the world. But they don't. Anyway, chapter objectives. So we've got to loot, raise, sack, free settlements. Now, I always find the more you get on with the chapters, these sub-objectives are more difficult. At the end of your turn, have an income of at least 2,000... oh, income. Oh, that's tough. Because I guess it's like if the income comes down... yeah, that is really tough. Recruit a Thane. Ensure a build of mustering hole. Complete 3 grudges. Research for technologies. Currently 2. Oh, right, okay. Sometimes it's worth it when the first couple of levels is like, well, let's just hold off capturing like that 3rd settlement before we can get a couple of more objectives. Like the extra 1,000 gold is actually a lot more worth it early on. Do let me know if the camera ever gets in the way of something as well, if you're watching this on YouTube later or anything like that. Do leave a comment. I do try to, there's an awful lot of UI and everything's always up. I did try to, last time we were playing this, like if there's the unit card on the left, hopefully the camera's in a position where it shouldn't cover up the name, which I think it was for a while and I didn't notice for ages. I can't tell who won that. Doesn't look like Manfred's got much in his army, but he's still about. He didn't run away. Just raised a settlement as well. Ooh, there's a lot of factions. Hey, we've got a barley field. Let's upgrade it as well.
Ready.
So, oh god, look at that, 600 income already. Let me just have a little check of this. Yeah, so is the income at the end, but I'm guessing once it triggers it doesn't, it might untrigger when we go below it.
The Slayer throng moves.
Um,
No fool that's safe in the world.
I should have really, yeah, they haven't got much in the way of a thing here. If I, as in the way of a thing, nice and descriptive. And we never had regiments of renown when I last played either. Let's get some more slayers, I guess. I mean, we can afford another 3.
Yes, my oath is intact.
I mean, income-wise, we can't really afford much else. But then, until this grows, there's not much to do anyway. Well, we need to get up to level 2, and at the moment, it's going to take 6 turns just to get there. Just to level 1, so of population surplus. Hopefully, we take Nashrak's lair and. Man, I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. It's a big gold mine down that way. Income will suddenly be all the better. I'm sure we've got some relation to that in the name, like Gold Tooth Mountain or something. Or at least that's the orcish name. Now hopefully the vampires are going to largely ignore me for a while. That would be the ideal. Just so that I can then go after them when I'm good and ready, not when they're ready. We're going to have trouble doing a huge amount of trade. Because it's a long way to any ports. Like as far as doing naval trading and stuff. That's a U-run. I never really looked to see if we're. I can't remember if we're actually at war with the other orc faction from the start. The broken nose.